Dynamic Duo, a pack originally created sometime in 2016 that has remained notorious since as one of the most revamped texture packs by the PvP pack community because of how novel the item textures were for its time. With this many iterations of the same pack, it can be difficult to decide which one is for you, so I have gathered some of the most notable revamps and compiled them into a list along with a description of each one's pros, cons, and features to make it stand out from the crowd in order to help you determine which one suits your taste best. Enjoy. The original Dynamic Duo is very clearly an ancient pack. It's generally mismatched as fuck when it comes to consistency of the textures and like the tools and swords and rods and PvP items and all that. Very plasticky, kind of matte swords and rods for that matter. The tools, like I said, are on some fuck shit. The bow actually is a highlight of the pack in my opinion, very unique and just it looks nice. It's got generic infinite blocks, what do you expect? TLDR, good if you value comfort over looks. Notre Dame's Dynamic Duo effectively just threw a gradient on the swords, it downscaled the rods, and kind of made the bows a bit more palatable for those of the more conventional taste than mine. Although I will say, the nighttime sky is really pretty until you look down at the void. Yeah, TLDR. Good if you like the look of the original but prefer a more polished / cohesive pack. Kino's Dynamic Duo is effectively a modernized version of the original. The items look much more hand-shaded. He made a huge improvement on the skies, as Kino does. He also updated all the infinite blocks, which really needed some doing. TLDR, it's good if you want the feel of the original, but don't like an older pack aesthetic, as in like you prefer hand-shaded over gradient. I sparked in Dynamic Duo 32X. Barely the same pack, honestly. I mean, the swords still only have one crossguard, but he just beefed the fuck out of him and threw a really weird gradient on him. Took all the items and did the exact same thing. Overhauled the bow, which stuck, and I mean honestly I prefer the original, but whatever, who cares. Also, there's only one sky in this pack. Like, it's just always day. TLDR, really only good if you want the Technoblade nostalgia. That's all. Spurge Dynamic Duo 32X effectively made Ice Sparkton's 32X a lot more palatable by fixing the bonkers shading and also the swords. TLDR, good if you want to use Ice Sparktons, but actually want your packs to look good. Christian PvP Dynamic Duo Red Blue 32X really just looks rushed, like it's very messy. There's a lot of inconsistencies in like the sword shape, just a lot of random pixels, but excellent color theme. And the diamond armor is executed really well. So TLDR, good if you don't mind a pack looking rushed and just want a good set of diamond gear. Dynamic Duo 16X, honestly a really bad idea, but I think he executed it pretty well for what he was trying to pull off. The sword shape just wasn't going to work well in that resolution. Also, the bow is just a travesty. Like, look at this shit. TLDR, only good for you diehard 16X fans because you refuse to use any other resolution because holy shit, this looks awful. I sparked in Dynamic Duo 128X. It's really just an upscaled version of his 32X and it looked so much nicer. He kind of revolutionized the aesthetic of Dynamic Duo for the higher res versions of it by making the swords a lot more angular and putting some meat on their bones. Still super disappointed they ditched the original bow because I'd love to see that upscaled, but TLDR pioneered the look of the high resolution Dynamic Duos and therefore is a very baseline pack for that look, so nothing special here, but very clean nonetheless. Yurzy Dynamic Duo 128X, it's much more like an upscaled version of the original 32X, but it has some Ice Sparkton influences. Completely original bow. Again, I'm very disappointed. Very nice skies though, 'cause that's what Yurzy does. TLDR. More faithful to the original pack than any other high-res version, so good if you like your high-res, but not your chunky Ice Sparkton high-res. I sparked in the Dynamic Duo V2. Basically, it just took his 128X and just smoothed it the fuck down. Really just took a belt sander and just... TLDR, good if you like your pack smooth, and Art is big a fan of the geometric design of the Dynamic Duo, also because of the FPS version, so that's cool. Zuck's Dynamic Duo 256X, definitely as clean as it gets for the items. Uses a really pretty mix of edited infinite and edited faithful blocks. Once again, bow is just okay. But TLDR, good if you like your shit clean and care about your blocks. Really tanked my FPS though, holy shit. Personally, I have 4 favorites. Yurzy and I sparked in 128X for high res, and Kino and Spurge when I'm feeling low res. a couple notes. You can get fun colors for 16x and 32x if you're into fun colors. Also, no offense to any of the pack creators in this video if I criticized your work. It's just because I can be picky as fuck and packs are extremely subjective either way. Yeah, anyway. Bye!